Quick show of hands down in the comment section. How many of you out there in my audience have seen the results of this recent Gallup poll that now says gun ownership is higher amongst Republican women than Democrat men? The first thing that a lot of people say, well, that just shows how anti-gun the pussy Democrat men are. That's usually the first place you go, but do criminals ask for a voter ID card before robbing you? You see, necessarily speaking, guns are the great equalizer. So women, as a percentage, should probably be carrying more guns than men, generally speaking. I don't leave the house every day with an EDC on my hip. I just don't feel the need to every time I go to the grocery store or go get the car washed or whatever. But women, it's a different story. You see, we're going to look into this a little bit more over at Patreon, but we have put up a brand spanking new video over there, America Divided. It took me a little longer to get that video up than I thought. I ran into some kind of a bug and I was down for a couple days. You can kind of hear it in my voice a little bit. Starting to come back a little bit, feeling a little bit better. So I wanted to get this one up because there's another interesting story about this, America being divided. It's the only thing that's saving our country right now, by the way. America being divided, people holding to certain values while others are attempting to force another set of values on us. This division is what's keeping us from falling apart completely. We got a brand new video up, just put up 24 hours ago over at the Patreon channel. Thank you so much, everyone who has showed up over there and participated. It's really, right now, keeping everything going. That I'm able to do videos at YouTube is because of how many people have showed up over Patreon and said they value this content. This most recent one is for the Need to Know Roundtable level and up. There's 4 levels. There's $2 a month, $5, $10, and $15. We did a couple of videos for everybody, got everybody in the room, McKee Foot Soldiers, all the way up to Brigade Commanders. This one's going to be Need to Know Roundtable and up. So believe me, it's going to be something you definitely want to see. And the best part about Patreon is that you have 90 days to go over there, watch the videos, kick the tires, see if it's for you. And within 90 days, if you don't think it's worth it, you can get a full refund of everything you've spent. No questions asked. Love to have you over there. God bless all of you who've been over there. Thank you so much. We do probably a dozen videos. I try to at least a month over there. Believe me, it's something you're definitely going to see. Now, I don't think anybody had this on their bingo card for summer 2025. Something's happened. You had an accident. Maybe you're not feeling well and you thought you could just self-medicate and get some rest, but it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And finally, you're like, you know what? I've got to go. I've got to go. I know it's 1 o'clock in the morning, but I've got to go to the hospital. You go there and you see a big fat sign that says hospital closed. Why is the hospital closed? Who knows? But the Patriot nurse, in her most recent video, gave us a real good reason why it might be. Why a hospital might say, sorry, we can't, our insurance company won't let us open. Our insurance company won't let us open. We can't insure anything we do here. Why? Because we've run out of supplies. Why have we run out of supplies? Well, let's listen to the Patriot nurse. She explains it very, very well.
I follow a gentleman named Craig Fuller on X, and he's an industry expert in logistics, and he's the CEO of a company that does that. And one of the things that he shared recently on his Twitter account was the really disturbing message that was relayed to him at a recent hospital fundraiser in his area. From one of the executives, he was told, quote, "We have a few months of inventory of PPE available. We can't pass on price increases because most of our prices are fixed with the carriers. We aren't placing orders for anything that comes from China." That one sentence tells you everything. Our hospitals are potentially on the brink. And if you think COVID was a problem back in the day, you haven't seen anything yet. We're going to talk about the impacts of the potential tariff tsunami on the hospital and medical system in the United States and what you can do to be prepared for it.
Well, that pretty much sums it up right there. It's kind of an interesting thing, though, that we have a country where the 5 richest men hold over, this is an old graphic, now hold over $1 trillion in wealth. And we're at a state now where even basic hospital services are at risk because they can't afford to buy PPE, personal protective equipment, masks, gowns, gloves, that type of thing, simply because of tariffs. Now, I have mentioned before, I am a Christian socialist, and I'm proudly so, because when you look at this clinically, logically, you don't need to have any spiritual belief to understand that if you want to have hospitals and you want to have 24/7, 365, and basic care for society, you can't have profit be a motive. A man named Richard T. Ely said, "We have among us a class of mammon worshippers who are so evil, whose one test of conservatism or radicalism is the attitude one takes with respect to accumulated wealth. Whatever tends to preserve the wealth of the wealthy is called conservatism, and whatever favors anything else to them, no matter what, they call evil, terrible, horrible socialism." It's about money worship. Privatizing basic necessities doesn't work. And those of you that are still in bed with the capitalists, folks, I can make any system, any ism work, if you give me a $35 trillion credit card. Would you ever listen to anyone who was $35 trillion in debt tell you about fiscal policy, fiscal responsibility, and the direction that we should be going politically? See, this graph is bad enough from 1995 when, well, it says 10 trillion here at about 2008. Looks like it was down around, I'm going to kind of spitball here, about 6 or 7 trillion. From 95 to 2025, it's gone from under 10 trillion to above 30. But this is the graph you really need to look at from right after World War II. See, we had a steady running national debt all the way till about 1979 or 80. And then all of a sudden, the debt just went through the roof. You see, if you want to have hospitals, if you want to have ambulances, 24/7, 365, you can't have it be a profit-based operation. There's no business in the world that could operate this way. You see, that's what I think a lot of people don't get. There's no actual business in the world that could operate as at a profit, being asked to do what doctors and nurses and medical equipment suppliers, what they're being asked to do. It's a failing business model. So it can't be done in a business environment. Keeping armies of people on staff 24/7, 365 in state-of-the-art facilities that use a ton of resources and a ton of energy and all of the PPE that just gets used once and thrown away. And at any time, they can be asked to go from zero to full effectiveness. There's no business in the world that could do this. So it can't be a business. So these tariffs, treating a lot of this stuff that we need, treating it, in the context of running it like a business, just won't work. And we used to know this a long time ago. there was a time when this country was somewhat socialist for a lot of good reasons. So, anyway, I won't take up a whole lot more of your time. I don't know much more my voice can take at this point. But great video, Patriot Nurse, excellent content. Let me see if I can jump back to another thing that was said by this Craig Fuller. I want to see if I can find it here. U.S. customers being a credit risk. Here it is. Wholesale distributor. Overseas suppliers have changed payment terms requiring payment up front. They've had so many U.S. orders refuse to take delivery due to tariffs. Now they view U.S. customers as a credit risk. Think about the effects of that for a minute. That's going to be huge by itself. So, anyway, being divided. Being divided is what's saving us right now. If you'd like to get read in on what more we can do, it's real simple. Join us Patreon. Can't talk about it here. Wish I could. But things have changed drastically. Love to have you over there. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.